How to lose weight fast. Payne reveals tips to help you lose up to 20 pounds in just 21 days. Payne, celebrity trainer and nutritionist. Hello there. Nice to meet you. First things first, let me guess what you are thinking now. Who is that guy who thinks he knows all so well? And why would he try to help me with anything? Well, let me answer that quickly by telling you a little about myself. I am a fitness expert, award-winning bodybuilder and a personal trainer. I am the man who stands behind virtually 10,000 incredible physical transformations. I have helped all my clients lose that weight and keep it off. And you know what else? These are all people just like you. Thanks to our work together, they finally achieve the body and health they deserve. I like to think that these transformations not only made their lives better, but improved them for good. Because once you taste that energy, strength and confidence, you will do anything to keep it that way. You want all that for yourself, don't you? I want that for you, too. What are we waiting for? Let's begin. Welcome aboard. Before we begin, I would like to especially thank all the people who have contributed and helped me be where I am today. Without you, nothing would have been the same. Thank you. Introduction. Some myths to debunk. For starters, I don't believe in universal systems. I don't believe in magic tricks. Way too many people today are desperately searching for just that trick to use and jump into the body of a celebrity. Why desperately? Because they are so used to being passive and afraid, that the sole idea of making some real effort makes them shake with disgust. You may have noticed, I never said that they are lazy. It's not me being afraid, to be honest, my friend. It's just that I also don't believe in laziness. I think of it as an excuse not to live to your full potential. Why would anyone search an excuse not to live? Because the path with least resistance is so much easier to follow. As long as you don't truly suffered from that end, by truly, I mean strong physical pain, or sickness, you don't feel the need to change yourself. Why would you? Your old ways work. Yes, so far your body just works. It might be still functional, but are you happy with how it looks? Are you energetic enough to enjoy your life to the fullest? If the answers to the above are too honest, then you should maybe leave that book right now and go have fun. But if you feel your answers were not so positive, or not 100% honest, then keep reading. Because I won't rest until we have big, enthusiastic yes to all life has to offer you. I don't believe that starving yourself to death is the way to have the body of your dreams. You have probably heard about, and tried yourself, an countable amount of diets. Of course you have. They are everywhere. In news, magazines, bookstands, in stores. They are on TV. They flash against you from shiny banners on your browser. And every new guru claims the ones before him got it all wrong. But, see, he or she is the one who knows how it really works. Sure enough, they promise you the world without much effort on your side. All you have to do is give up on carbs, or fats, or even suck up on sun energy and become healthy as never. Look at testimonials or sign up for training here and YWOULD, and they share their ideas of what your body needs. You are the one who wants them to. You are the one who pays them to feed you their delusions. And these are delusions, my friend, because most of them completely ignore the most basic scientific facts. We'll get on that later in this book. For now it suffice for me to tell you that I am against starving. Too many of my clients have been victims of the infamous yo-yo effects of crazy diets. And, while thinking about what is good for your health, and what moderation means, will help you become healthier and more energetic, I asking you to stop this miracle diet madness here and now. It's bad for you. I don't believe in all-knowing gurus. Some people can help but start believing themselves too much. Once some TV show gives them a little attention, even if they started off with the best intentions to help others with their knowledge, they surely lose track at some point and start believing they are experts in everything from health, through sports and even politics. That all fine and innocent until you don't trust them too much and take everything they have to say as the pure and only truth. Do you even trust yourself so much? No. Then why fall victim of someone who only interested in you for your money? And if it was only your money you gave to them, it would still be somewhat tolerable. But you put your own health in their hands. Don't do that. Always check what they tell you with reliable sources of facts, your doctor, scientific publications, and government health websites, for example. Please, don't take that as a cruel criticism. Even the smartest people do believe stupid things sometimes. We are all human, and this is how we are wired to seek and believe positive information, not necessarily harsh truths. When you know that about yourself, though, You can use it to act in wiser ways and make better decisions about your health in the future. Being strong is not only what people see on the outside, it also how you feel on the inside, and that is closely related to being physically fit. You can really have one without the other, or maybe you can, but I don't think such approach will give you the satisfaction you seek. Not in the long run anyway. As Lao Tzu says, mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Achieving true power means achieving physical and mental transformations. You don't have to change who you are and what you value, but it's good for you to question and change the wrong beliefs you held for yourself that have stopped you until now to be truly happy. It's good for you to change how you see your efforts to become better as a burden, or a blessing. That is the only way to truly enjoy your wonderful body, your improved health, your life as a whole. Being fit and healthy is not a one-time choice, it's a lifestyle. And this is closely related to the statement above. If you make the decision to better yourself, it will not require you to just visit a fitness club a couple of times and watch what you eat for a few weeks. No, if you want real and lasting results, you have to commit. Being healthy is not a hobby, it's a way of living. It's not just what you do, but how you choose. It's about all the little and big decisions you make throughout your days, weeks and years. All these matter more than you think. So, if you plan on losing some weight with that book and going back to your old ways after, you will only lose your time. The real results will come after you have lost that weight, and these results will be the ones that matter most. I know it has happened to you before. You reach for something. You pay the price by going through exhaustion and starvation, sometimes both, just for your previous weight to return with vengeance. It's all so frustrating. Patience, my friend. I will teach you later in the book what you can do to no longer make such mistakes. Starting on the right foot. Now that you know what you will not see and hear, let me tell you what you will. When I work with clients, I need to know what they want to achieve and help them do that. I have an individualized approach with every one of them, according to their goals. I also make sure they commit to work hard and don't have false expectations. Once we step on the right foot, it's not just about their goals anymore. Their goals become our mutual goals. Because I put my clients' well-being before all, I do my best to help them do more than merely working out. I do my best to fit and adapt our plan into their lives, so it fits like a silk glove and brings less pain and more satisfaction. I also want to help them be and stay motivated, enthusiastic and happy. That personal goal of mine is the sole reason I am writing this book now. Since I am not physically capable of being there with you now, when you are reading this book, not yet anyway, I will try to help you do all that alone. Each and every chapter here is aimed at giving you the knowledge and to prepare you for the real deal. In chapter 1, I will make sure you know what losing weight is really about, so that you have the right expectations. Since most often people fail and feel betrayed because their expectations were not met, it's important for us to avoid that. In chapters 2 and 3 we will discuss some physical and mental barriers that might be causing your difficulty with achieving the figure you want. Let's face it, if you need to lose that weight, you must have done something to gain those extra pounds. Before you do something about it, you need to know why and how this might have happened. Chapter 4 will introduce you to some basic things you will need to keep in mind before beginning. These include the benefits of losing weight, some self-image ideas for you to incorporate, as well as getting realistic about what stages you will be going through. Chapter 5 will give you to the actual knowledge and advice you've been missing until now. No, it will not contain a set of exercises with pictures and descriptions. I never stopped wondering why people do that who could possibly have a fun and rewarding workout by looking at pictures and reading the small text around them. And no, I am not your gym coach. I will help you coach yourself. And chapter 6 is all about sustaining motivation and results. As I previously wrote, success does and happen overnight. Only by having this book and reading it, you will not become slimmer, not even if you read it twice. You need to put that knowledge into action, friend. You need to take that action and use it to transform yourself. Are you ready? I certainly hope so, because we about to begin. Summary of this chapter. Chapter 1, what weight loss is all about. Before we move on to actual action, Let's establish some ground rules here. I don't want you to fall victim of yet another expensive promise that will leave you empty and feeling even worse than before. I have already discussed how I feel about those in the previous chapter. Click here for our program Youth In Program. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to live to your true potential, and that will only happen if you want that for yourself as much as I do. So my question to you is simple. This is actually not a word. It's an abbreviation. It stands for the 5 core principles that this book is based on: beliefs, realness, action, victory, and enjoyment. Principle number 1 is about your beliefs. Sometimes good results come out of the wrong reasons, and sometimes great reasons end up badly. When you decide to lose weight, you need to make sure you have the right motives. Only having the right motives will bring truly positive and lasting results. Your motivation depends on what you believe losing weight will be like. If you hold a negative belief about yourself, if you don't believe in your own worth, you might be motivated to change that, so people are more likely to accept you. For example, this belief is false and negative, and, once you achieve some results, it will only be reinforced because the sole reason you want to lose weight is for other people to like you more. When that happens, you will only believe even stronger that others like you just because of how you look. That is not healthy, friend. That is why I am going to give you a short list with examples of good beliefs and motivations that are paving the path of health, and bad ones which will only bring you pain and short-lived success. What I consider wrong motives. Trying to lose weight to it in belief behind such motivation, and effective in some way. Losing weight to look like a model belief, can only be considered attractive, if I measure up to the fake media standards. Trying to be more edible belief. Oh, one can love me for who I am inside. Trying to conform to other people's opinions belief. If they tell me I have to, they are surely right. My opinion does and count. Trying to do anything for any reasons outside yourself belief. Cannot trust my own instincts. What I consider right motives. Wanting to be strong, wanting to be healthy, wanting to feel energized, wanting to live better, wanting to live longer. I think it obvious what sort of beliefs stand behind such motives. Deserve to be happy, healthy and energized. I deserve to live longer and better. Principle number 2, get real about it. In the next 2 chapters we'll discuss in more detail what stopped you from looking and feeling the way you wanted until now. And after that I have dedicated a whole separate chapter on getting real. For now you should know just that. The fact you are now reading this book is a good sign. It means you finally had enough of that. But don't fool yourself. Holding that book alone will not solve your problems. Facing them will. No problem can be solved if we don't know the problem. Or as Sun Tzu has put it, know your enemy and know yourself, find not in fear for 100 battles. What this means is that you have to know exactly what you are signing up for. Only when you have it all figured out, you can really commit into improving yourself. Only then you will have the will, desire and motivation to get fit and stay fit. But, as I already wrote, there's no magic pill. With all the progress science has made until now, with all the medicines, procedures, therapies, herbs, etc., there's still not one single way to achieve the body you want without effort. If you fear making effort, you will get nowhere. Metabolic Cookbook. Principle number 3, action. Once you made sure you want to lose weight for the right reasons and made sure you are informed what that requires, it's time for action. Once you are really ready and prepared for the actual training and health choices you will be making, you are almost halfway up to the top. But, once again, merely preparing yourself is not enough. If you don't apply what I teach you, you will not lose that weight. Instead, you will only lose your time. And I have especially made sure not only to give you all the information you need in order to start working on your weight, but I also made sure not to limit your options in doing so. There's nothing more difficult and boring than following someone else's ideas of what to do with your own body. While some advice and instructions will not leave you hanging, I believe that you have to have the freedom to choose your own way how to diet and exercise. In case you don't find that sufficient, this book will only prepare you. I have a whole online program prepared and waiting for you to come hungry for some action. You will not be alone in your efforts. So, get ready for battle and get ready to win it. Principle number 4, victory. There's nothing sweeter than seeing your efforts are paying off. When you see results, you will be nearly ecstatic. I guarantee you that. But one successful battle does not mean victory yet, my friend. One successful battle is just that, a battle less along the way. In order to achieve the actual victory, you have to reach your final goals. It will take time and it won't be easy. What I want you to do is, celebrate each win, But don't lose your track of the final victory. And the final victory will not be only what you see on that scale. It will be much more than that. It will be total transformation of the way you look, of the way you feel, of the way you move, of the way you want to live from then on. It will not be one single party. It will be lots of small celebrations every single day you make great health choices. Principle number 5, don't lose the fun. Enjoy it. Talking about celebrations, you don't have to wait for the victory to come to finally start feeling good about yourself. Maybe you don't know that yet, but eventually you will understand what I mean here. For now, remember, if your efforts feel more like a torture, and less like something good and fun, you will fall for the trap of short-term success. You will barely wait for it all to end and quickly go back to your old ways. But this is the exact reason I am not a fan of universal systems. Because you need the freedom to do things at your own pace, to experiment a little, and to find enjoyment in the process. So, don't you ever forget to have fun. Summary of this chapter. Chapter 2, Health First. What does health mean? According to scientific definitions, health could be described as a state of being free from disease and illness. It also connected to the term illness the positive component of health leading to quality of life and a sense of well-being. Taking that literally, however, many people could not be considered healthy at all. And while I majorly agree with the definitions given above, I prefer to define health and wellness as optimal states of existence. Even if your age, genetics, environment and lifestyle has taken some of your overall health, you have the choice to do your best and live in the best possible way. That means making efforts and smart choices. It also requires positive and healthy attitude. How are weight and health connected? In so many ways, I cannot count all of them in this book. Not meaning to scare you, but according to WebMD, being overweight is associated with a higher risk of developing a number of conditions including heart disease and stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, some cancers, gallbladder disease and gallstones, osteoarthritis, gout, breathing problems, such as sleep apnea when a person stops breathing for short episodes during sleep, and asthma. Of course, it's not just the weight that could lead to sickness. Sometimes it is a result of it. Some factors that may contribute to being overweight include alcoholism, eating disorders such as binge eating, genetic predisposition, hormonal imbalances, for example hypothyroidism, insufficient or poor quality sleep, limited physical exercise and sedentary lifestyle, poor nutrition, metabolic disorders, which could be caused by repeated attempts to lose weight by weight cycling, overeating. This is why, before starting a new diet or a training program, you should always consult your doctor first. As I said, I'm not giving you that information to scare you into taking care of yourself. In my opinion, such motivational techniques are not effective. I just feel that it is very important for you to know that. Again, you need to know your body and be real about your weight loss goals. What does healthy weight mean? Excess body weight is a very serious problem, especially in North America and Europe. Let's see how to define just how much is too much. There are a number of ways to know what your optimal weight is. Obviously, the best one is to consult a healthcare professional. Some of the most commonly used techniques are calculating your body mass index (BMI), measuring skin fold thickness, measuring waist to hip ratio, etc. BMI. The body mass index (BMI) is an equation or a chart that is used to determine a healthy weight range. It is based on your height and weight. It works for healthy adult males and females, but there are some exceptions. Some professional athletes, for example, may appear overweight according to the chart, but in fact they simply have a lot of muscle, which weighs more than fat. BMI is not a measure for children, pregnant women, or the elderly. To calculate your specific numbers, you can use an online calculator or do it manually. If you choose the latter, you can use the following formula. Simple BMI categories include underweight when your BMI is less than 18.5, normal weight when your BMI is between 18.5 and 25, overweight when your BMI is between 25 and 30, too muscular or obese when your BMI is 30 or greater. BMI alone should not be used to determine an ideal body weight range. BUT is a good guide for beginning. Skin fold thickness. The skin fold thickness measurement is used to determine the thickness of fat in the skin. It is done with an instrument called a Upper. This is one of the most commonly used ways for assessing body fat. Just as with the BMI chart, this method is not reliable enough to be used alone. It could also lead to more errors, because it requires skill on the part of the person doing the measuring, and also because it depends on the number and location of sites measured. Waist to hip ratio (WHR). You know the terms pot belly and ear belly, don't you? Well, Even if you are not dangerously overweight, you might carry excess fat around your abdomen. Many people joke about it and consider it harmless, but it actually at least as unhealthy as having fat in any other area. In order to determine whether you are overweight, the hip-to-waist measurement gives a pretty good idea of what needs to be improved. All you need to measure your WHR is a flexible measuring tape. The waist measurement is taken at the narrowest waist level, or if this is not apparent, at the midpoint between the lowest rib and the top of the hip bone. The tape should not be pulled too tight or left too loose. The hip measurement is taken over minimal clothing or when nude, at the level of the widest part of your bottom. To assess waist-to-hip ratio, simply divide the waist measurement by the hip girth. According to the National Institutes of Health (NIH), it's best to use both BMI and WHR to determine in how much health risk you are. As high risk are considered men, 102 centimeters 40 inches, women, 88 centimeters 35 inches. Despite the number of different methods for measuring levels of body fat in people, there is no agreement about how to decide how much body fat is harmful to health, or exactly when weight loss should be recommended. A good rule of thumb is to trust how you feel as a whole, and whether or not you like what you see in the mirror. Once again, let me remind you that I am against rigid systems. Still, it is important for you to know how your health and weight are connected, so that you can finally face the facts for what they really are. Now some good news about the connection between exercise and health. Exercise is even more important as you age. With age, the muscle in the body tends to decrease without exercise. This decline is worse in people who haven't been doing muscle-building exercise. On the other hand, muscle-building exercise, such as weightlifting, can preserve or increase muscle mass despite aging. It will also improve your metabolism, your bone strength and your blood pressure. But I will discuss that in more detail later. Remember that for now, the more effort you put now, the better you will look and feel as you age. Improved metabolism. Metabolism is the process in which your body uses what you consume in the form of food and drinks as a fuel to do everything from sleeping to running and all there is in between. And because your body tries to do that at its best ability, and protect you at all times, crash diets don't work. As a matter of fact, they have negative effects on how your metabolism works. Restricting calories slows down metabolism, making it harder to lose weight later. If you want to boost your metabolism, so that you use food for energy, instead of having it stored in unsightly places, you need to exercise. The benefits of exercise on your metabolism can last up to 24 hours after your workout. But having an active lifestyle also helps greatly in processing the food you eat in healthier ways. Effects of sports on your blood and blood circulation. Quality physical activities lead to lots of beneficial temporary and permanent changes in your cardiovascular system. These changes include faster heart rate means higher supply of oxygen all over your body. As a result, you breathe better, and all your organs function better. Accelerated clotting processes, and prevention of clots in blood vessels meaning smaller risk of cardiovascular and cerebrovascular attacks, and smaller possibility of developing hypertension. Temporary rise in blood pressure, which becomes more stable with regular exercise over time. In addition, exercise stimulates uptake of glucose from the blood cells and regulates blood glucose levels. This effect is vital for the prevention of diabetes and its complications. Believe it or not, as a result of systematic physical exercises and sports, because of the increased demands on the heart muscle, it compensates by increasing its size. When you think of muscle mass, you haven't imagined that one, have you? Summary of this chapter. Chapter 3. Mind and matter. Your mental and emotional states are not less important than your physical health when it comes to weight and, of course, to your overall confidence. This connection is also double-sided. If you continuously suffered from negative emotions, you are more likely to compensate with binge eating and gain extra pounds, for example. On the other hand, if you are overweight, you will probably have low confidence and be more vulnerable to falling into negative states of mind. Again, let's begin with the things you maybe don't want to know, but need to, and build to the positive from then on. Psychological problems to consider. Let's say it's straight good-looking people are accepted better by others, as they are considered more attractive. It's easy to develop low self-esteem, and even self-hatred, if you are repeatedly rejected because of your weight. Of course, some people could see themselves as fat when they are actually not, and suffer from the exactly same confidence problems as the objectively obese people. That is why in the previous chapter I introduced you to objective measurement facts and techniques. I also advised you to get a medical checkup before all in part because of this. If you are obsessed with food, shape and weight to the point where you hate your appearance, you might have another problem to work on, friend. And developing a healthy and realistic body image should be where you concentrate your efforts first of all. Other problems you have to be aware of are depression and anxiety, as they boil with negative emotions, and might have a serious impact on your weight and well-being. Depression could influence your weight in two ways: by increasing your appetite and making you feel exhausted, or by decreasing your appetite and causing sleep difficulties. Of course, having appetite and liking to sleep in are not symptoms of depression alone. But if you use food as a relief, you might want to also look into the possibility of having some other depression symptoms. Feeling helpless or hopeless, having strong feelings of worthlessness or guilt, feeling down, losing interest in daily activities. You feel like you have lost your ability to enjoy things that used to bring you pleasure. Anger or irritability. Your tolerance level is low. Everything and everyone gets on your nerves. Loss of energy. Your whole body may feel heavy and tired without apparent reason. Even small tasks could be exhausting, or take longer to complete. Concentration problems. Unexplained aches and pains such as headaches, back pain, aching muscles, and stomach pain. Depression is not always something easy to consider as a problem, because often it felt as a persistent lost state, which many people are used to and accept as normal. Sometimes depressive episodes could be caused by major life changes that are difficult to cope with. Sometimes even excessive dieting itself can make you feel depressed. But if you feel like that for 6 months or more, you might have to consult a therapist. This is extremely important. If you have thoughts of taking your own life, you must seek help immediately. Here is a book I wrote on depression. Anxiety. Anxiety could also disturb your sleep, weight and overall health. Typically, anxious people turn to binge eating in an attempt to calm themselves down. Some people also turn to alcohol to escape anxiety, which could also lead to weight gain. As with depression, anxiety is not easy to think of as a problem, if it not excessive and DOES and produce alarming symptoms. You might live all your life in panic mode without realizing. Being constantly on the edge and easy to be taken off balance, though, is something that you might have to work on. Turning to food or alcohol to avoid dealing with painful emotions is not good for you. If you have difficulty dealing with such problems, it's best to seek consultation with a specialist. Many people fear doing that because of the social stigma. But let's return to the realness point in our system. You need to learn to accept yourself for who you are in order to have positive and lasting results. There's nothing to be ashamed of. We are all human and such things could happen to each one of us. Realness is about changing what can be changed and accepting what cannot be. This is not defeat. This is victory over your barriers. This is facing problems and dealing with them. Stress is obviously not a condition, but it is something that we all have experienced from time to time. If you are under lots of stress for a long time, that could also cause you to feel anxious or depressed. However, the truth is, the stress we experience in our lives DOES and come from outside T is our bodies and minds responding to life's challenges, both real and imagined. It's what you think when you are in any given situation. If you perceive it as dangerous, that provokes your body to react as if in danger. It prepares to fight and shuts down all secondary functions, including your digestive system, metabolism, etc. That is why your belly fat could as well be a symptom of your difficulty to successfully manage stress. Maintaining the right attitude, the food you choose, and the relationships you chose to be in are important. Studies have also shown that relaxation and regular exercise are very effective in treating conditions caused by stress, such as anxiety and depression. Book I wrote. And, on to the good news. Having a positive mindset is crucial for success. Your mental attitude, your thoughts and emotions define how you live. If you want to change your lifestyle for good, you need to do that with positivity, enthusiasm and good self-confidence. Many people think that they lack the confidence because of the extra pounds, and when they lose those, it will all change for the better. This is simply false, friend. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. Once you wire yourself for success, nothing can stop you from getting the body you want, and living the life you deserve. Thankfully, you can choose your thoughts and you can reprogram your negative feelings. And you will have to do that, because negativity is a habit. If you want to create the new habit of health, you will have to get rid of your old ways to make room for it. Replace all can with can. As Henry Ford has says, "Whether you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right." Be aware of your beliefs, as they create your reality. Catch yourself every time you think something negative about yourself and write it down. This habit might take a while, but worth it. Just catch every bad thought you have and write it down. Count and review all the cruelty you have put yourself through at the end of each day. You will be surprised to see how often you act and think as if you are your own worst enemy. Create and practice new thoughts. Replace in this list all the on of with an and to positive statements. For example, can never look as good might be turned into a can look as good, and even better. I know, it will come as fake and untrue at first, but if you practice this positivity skill, at some point it will become your second nature. Believe it or not, you have practiced negativity for a long time in order to become so good with putting yourself down. Stop reinforcing it now. Give yourself more credit for the good things you do for yourself. If you want to be healthy, then you need to start acting healthy, even if it feels awkward at first. Healthy attitude includes being confident and enthusiastic about your abilities. Celebrating your small wins will help you stay motivated, but I will write more about that in the following chapters. Motivation and setting goals. Staying motivated also depends on the goals you have set for yourself. If they are unrealistic, you can keep yourself on the right track for a long time. Goals that are too easy to achieve will not stimulate you, but goals that are setting the bar too high will also lead to frustration and undermine your chances for success. I will offer some tips and advice on how to stay motivated for sustaining your results after your program. But now it's important for you to work on your motivation to begin it all. If you want to set real expectations and achieve your goals, you have to make them SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant and time-bound. Probably you are already familiar with the principle of SMART goals, but I will still tell you a little more about it. Specific means having exact idea of how success would look like, instead of deciding just that you want to look great, which is a very vague term. For example, you will want to decide exactly what great means. Specific clothes size, or waist to hip ratio, are better starting points. This will also make it easier for you to measure your success or lack of. The attainable part is related to the difficulty I mentioned. Wanting to lose 50 pounds for a week, for example, is neither achievable nor healthy. Don't go for such extremes. A relevant goal is one attached to your bigger long-term goals and values. That returns us to the beliefs and motivation you have to lose weight that we discussed in the introduction chapter. If you want it in order to be healthy and live better, that is a healthy and relevant goal. Timing is obviously the deadline you set for achieving your goal. If you don't define some deadlines, you might be tempted to delay indefinitely. Then you will see little or no actual results. We don't want that, do we? Summary of this chapter. Chapter 4, GAT Real. Okay, friend, I know the previous 2 chapters took away some of the fun in the book. There's no way to present information about physical and mental issues that might be influencing your weight in a light-hearted manner. I could have told you the joke about the doctor perspective on living long, but that would have taken away the message there. Well, I guess I could still tell that silly joke now. Okay, a patient goes to the doctor for his yearly checkup. Everything is fine, says the doctor. Ooh, doing okay for your age. Or my age? I only 75. Do you think I'll make it to 80? Said the doctor. Oh, you drink or smoke? Oh, you eat fatty meat or sweets? Oh, I am very careful about what I eat. Oh, about your activities? Do you engage in thrilling behaviors like speeding or skiing? Oh, I would never engage in dangerous activities. Said the doctor. Hen, why in the world would you want to live to be 80? Okay, as funny as this joke may be, it's close to the opposite of the message I'm trying to deliver here. Why close and not exactly the opposite? Because I do want you to live long and well, but not if you are not having some fun in the process. 2. What is the point of being slim and fit if you are not able to enjoy getting there and keep the results for good? How are you supposed to maintain the achieved results if the price you had to pay was suffering and starving? Not cool, right? Do you remember the BRAVE principles I wrote about in the introduction? It's time to get real about losing weight. It's time to discuss what the process of changing your life includes, from the hardships to the fun parts, benefits and costs of losing weight. If you really want to change your weight and keep it off, you need to examine and strengthen your reasons for doing that. Just reading about it, or complaining to friends over a cup of coffee how much you miss being slim, is not going to get you there. Getting real about it takes determination. Your aim is to create clear and concrete plan, define SMART goals and follow through. This is also the reason I wanted you to choose carefully what your beliefs and motives are to do that, because once you start acting on them, You will want to make those stick. You will want to turn your program into a habit and your motivation into a lasting source of fuel for action. If you come about it with unhealthy reasons and attitude, instead of enjoying the results you have achieved, you will get a bitter taste of defeat. The benefits of losing weight include the rewards that come with succeeding, the pleasure, the satisfaction, your improved health, the new image you have for yourself. The costs include the efforts you had to invest and the hardships you had to go through in succeeding. As I warned you, there's no such thing as quick, easy, overnight results. Only when you believe the benefits outweigh the costs, you can stay motivated, friend. So plan well and plan carefully. You also need to learn and make difference between short-term and long-term costs and benefits. For example, if you decide to skip a workout one day, just because you didn't feel like it, you gain the short-term benefit of taking it easy. You relax by giving up the urge of your old ways. But what is the long-term benefit of that? I'll tell you what, none. As a matter of fact, you pay the long-term cost of allowing yourself to take that shortcut once more. You pay the price of choosing a short-lived comfort over your health. All you have to do when such urge arises is ask yourself, what am I doing here? What will I gain and what will I lose if I listen to that childish cry for avoiding some discomfort? Unfortunately, when you begin working on your plan to lose weight by exercising and managing your diet better, you will find out that your mind is surprisingly good and convincing when making up excuses for quitting. Since it's too easy for us all to come up with short-term costs of doing the right thing, the effort, the tiredness, the ease in following old habits, I will only give you a quick list of the gains. Keep those in mind and keep yourself from selling your health cheap later. Short-term benefits of losing weight: feeling good and energized, feeling stronger, improved mood, easy movement, enjoying a small victory, liking yourself more, being proud of sticking to your plan, giving a good example to others around you, deserving a pat on the back or some other treat because you did it. Long-term benefits: improved physical abilities, improved health, having the chance to live longer, having the opportunity to live better, looking and feeling good, enjoying the big victory. This list is not complete, but it covers some of the main points. Why don't you make one of your own right now and see whether you can add many more to those? I'll be waiting here, no worries. Now, when you did that, you can quit denying what you pay and keep paying for staying the way you are until now. Now you can start planning what you will gain and want to be from here on. It's crucial for your success to focus on the benefits and learn to recognize what is undermining your efforts. Your self-image has to shift. Did you understand why I devoted 2 separate chapters on health and mindset problems that might be causing weight gain? Because these things matter equally. Just as the mind influences the body, so can the body influence the mind. This was the main takeaway I wanted you to come to realize. Losing weight is not just a matter of counting calories, or doing an exact amount of push-ups every day. Your beliefs, your habits, your diet, your life, it all matters and needs to be adjusted for success. Of course, this will happen gradually. You might not even notice in the beginning how your thinking shifts. It's the same with how you have been gradually gaining that weight. You didn't catch yourself getting there for months, maybe even years, until it was too late and hard to go back to your old self. In order to speed up the process, though, you have to become much more mindful about your habits and your thinking patterns. You have to make that change happen, instead of waiting for it to naturally come. The latter might take too long, or might never become a fact, if you don't grab the steering wheel in your hands and drive yourself to where you really want to be. And an important part of becoming proactive is by changing how you think of yourself as the driver, or the passenger. You have to get rid of the mentality of being a victim of circumstances and take responsibility of how you look and live. What is your current self-image? What defines you? Behavior and the choices you make every single day. What makes others see you and treat you the way they do? What has led you to where you are today? The answer to that is simple: your perception of who you are. But, see, my friend, even this is not so simple. You are not a robot programmed to always calculate what to do, how to do it and when. You are a human. You have your highs and ups, your moments of clarity and days of doubt. That is all fine and normal. I can assure you, I don't want you to change that. But I want to teach you how to direct that in order to achieve your dreams. Your 3 selves. Paul McKenna has described this concept I really find useful here. The 3 selves. Your pretend self is what defines how you want to be seen by others. We all want to be liked and accepted for who we really are, but we fear that is not going to happen. What will others think if they knew all our little secrets, our weird habits, our vulnerabilities? No, we have to act in ways society finds good and acceptable. Think of it for a moment. How do you want to be seen? What do you want others to think of you? What do you want them to know, and what do you do your best to hide? Your negative self is who you are afraid you are. Again, this is not what realistically describes you, but what you never want to be recognized for. Define your negative self. Think of what you consider as your weakness, what you are ashamed of, what is exactly the opposite of your pretend self, and you get the answer. Your authentic self is who you really are. It not a sum of positives and negatives as one would think of when choosing a computer, for example. Rather, it a description of your personality, of what makes you unique, and the same, and different than the others. What is your authentic self? Think about your life story. Think about what you believe, what you truly value, what your hopes and dreams are. Why did I introduce you to that concept here? I did that for you to get real about your perceived strengths and weaknesses, and use them to align your goals with your true beliefs and values. Only then you can sustain your efforts and enjoy the results you get. The stages of change. As we discussed so far, in order to lose weight, you need to get to know yourself better, from what is stopping you, through what your hopes and motives are, and why. Not just how you look, but also who you are will change in the process. This process, however, is not one jump, it's a series of smaller ones. It has stages. Knowing what you will be going through is worth it, I think. This way you can prepare yourself more effectively. Pre-contemplation stage. This is what we already went through on theory in this book, the realization of all consequences of gaining weight. These include all the health-related issues, your thoughts, emotions, the effects on your life and self-image. This is the balance sheet you have to make in order to get motivated for any change. Contemplation stage. By now, you must have come to the contemplation stage. At least you already have a pretty good idea of your reasons to change, just don't know how to yet. At this point you are already planning and considering all the costs and benefits of losing weight. You prepare yourself mentally for what is coming. Preparation. This is where you start acting on the plan. I hope by now you have consulted your doctor and have a good knowledge of your health. You have made steps to solve some mental issues that have led you to here. You have decided on your SMART goals. Action. This is start implementing your plan. This is the point you actually do change your diet, your exercise plan, and everything else we are going to discuss in the following chapter. This stage is the hardest, my friend. You might feel like you miss your old ways. You will have to do your best not to give in the urges bringing short-lived comfort. You will have to constantly remind yourself exactly why you are going through all this. That is the exact reason I have been building to the stage gradually, giving you the chance to prepare fully and become brave about it. Remember, all the difficulties are just a bunch of temporary discomfort. What truly matters is achieving the health and life you want and deserve. Maintenance. This, of course, is the stage where you actually have some results, but you want to keep them and keep improving. This is easier than the action stage, since you see how your hard work and efforts have been worthy, but it also easier to slip into lapses. If then you are no longer committed to sustain your new lifestyle, you might have to go through this whole process again and again in the future. We don't want that. This is why at the end of this book I will also give you some tips on how to keep up the great work. Make your plan fit your lifestyle. Before we continue, I have one last word of advice for you. Make sure you have a plan for changes, but also make sure it's fun and realistic. You can expect to suddenly become perfectly strict with your diet and devote fully to working out. Sure, in the beginning you might feel eager and committed. You might even tell yourself, "Hey, this is not even half as bad as I expected." That is great, but don't blow the victory horns just yet. Your old habits can and will try to lure you back out of track. It simply takes time to adjust to your new lifestyle. In order to make that transit smoother, don't force yourself too harshly. Make sure to fit your plan into your lifestyle. Consider the time you are ready to dedicate for exercising, what foods you absolutely cannot live without, what your family and environment will and will not allow. Easy. You might not get the results you want as fast as you wanted, but at least you will make sure you get results and they last longer. Keep your head up, but don't forget to keep your feet on the ground too. Summary of this chapter. Chapter 5, Action. I believe that by now you are sufficiently eager to start the actual action, right? Me too, friend. But you need to know what to do and how to do it first. It's almost like going back to school, but with more fun and freedom in the process. As you will see in this chapter, unlike school, you can learn things that you know perfectly well are beneficial for you. Then you will have the freedom to design your own program. No one will be testing how well you memorize the facts at the end, and you will do all you feel needs to be done. leaving out everything you don't like. The only goal you have is improving your own health and well-being. So, I hope you will be a good student when needed, but also a good headmaster scolding naughtiness and watching over some basic discipline. You must have already realized that you have made some less than optimal choices in the past. You probably allowed yourself to go with the flow in the modern times, where that means spending countless hours in front of the computer, in traffic jams, on the couch. Eat anything that is fast, convenient and not immediately going to kill you. As long as you don't feel hungry during these soulless hours. You also probably feel very tired of it all and need more sleep, or just seem to be unable to catch up with your rest. And now your body is trying to compensate for all that by gaining reserves to survive. It's trying to scream at you, "Ooh, treat me badly, I feel like crap." Stop that now. Just now you are finally ready to listen. Great. This is where I jump in. Once more, please, don't make the mistake of rushing into dieting only, or only sports. In the long term this is not going to solve any problem. By now you must have realized that and prepared for a mix of dieting, sports and mind work that will repair the damage and let you have not only the looks you want, but also the health you deserve. Tracking progress. First things first, until this moment you have probably made an estimation of how much weight needs to come off and what are your health-related limits. Made a good, long list of motives and benefits of losing weight. Set yourself some smart and healthy goals. In order to know how you are doing with accomplishing those goals, you need to track your progress. What gets measured gets managed, right? Let me give you a few options to do that. You can choose to do all of those, or just a few. Or you can make a combination list for convenience. Keep a food journal. Having a log of everything you put in your mouth is going to be very beneficial for keeping a track of your progress. It will also help you make adjustments in your diet, according to the results you get or the lack of. It will also make you think twice before deciding to eat that bag of chips. A calendar for counting accomplishments and lapses. You can mark on a calendar every day you have followed through with your plan with A or anything else of your liking, and every day you skip making effort with a big. Make a commitment and try not to have too many, or better off don't break the chain of weighing yourself. Constantly checking yourself on the bathroom scales is not the best idea, but, since your goal is to lose weight, that is obviously necessary. Keep in mind, however, that tracking your weight will only tell you a part of the story. Your results depend on various things, as how much muscle mass you have built. Muscles are denser and heavier than fat, how much water you have drank, and even at what time of the day you are measuring yourself. So, don't use your weight as the only indicator of success, and don't do it every day. Weekly weighing is a good idea, especially if you combine it with the next method. Measure your hip and waist. Noticing changes of how your clothes fit is great. Having a measurable difference could be very motivating. Again, don't do that every day. Just do both weight measuring and body circumferences measuring together, once a week. That is all you need to track your progress. Track your moods and energy levels, as I said and plan to say over and over again. Some of the main benefits of changing your lifestyle with a healthier one is the improved energy and mood. That will not happen fast. During the first few weeks you will probably feel a little beaten up, but as you progress, as you turn exercising into a habit, when you least expect it, the magic will happen. Then you will feel better than ever. I can guarantee you that. Since we tend to forget such things easy, you might need to track your daily moods and overall energy levels on a scale from 1 to 10, for example, where 1 means ever felt worse and 10 ever been better. Actually, it's even best if you start doing that before you begin. Get a good idea of your mood and energy levels now, during the first few weeks into the plan, and after. You might be surprised with the results. Take pictures of yourself. You surely have seen the pictures of weight loss commercials. They're always for an FTER pictures. That is, of course, the best way to see the changes. Make sure you take full body pictures of yourself from different perspectives: front, side, back. And don't be ashamed to wear a bathing suit. These are meant for your private use only, unless you really want to share them, of course. Look at them after a few weeks. Do that again after a few months. And don't forget to have fun posing anything else according to your personal goals, since this is not just a weight loss program, but a full lifestyle transformation one. You might have set some goals that are not directly connected to your weight or how you look. Track those too. Feel free to experiment and be brave. In the process. Diet. What are diets meant for? Many people live with the wrong impression that all that diets do is limiting your food choices and giving you a pathetic list of things you can actually eat. Of course, That list usually excludes all the good stuff and makes you want to cry. And, of course, when on a diet, you are supposed to walk around all hungry and miserable for what seems to be an eternity. Good news, my friend, we don't want that kind of dieting for you. As a matter of fact, all I want to do is educate you and let you choose how to design your own diet following some useful rules of thumb I will outline in this chapter. The purpose of this book is introducing you to your new, healthier life. So, all you will need to do is mind your choices and portions. Of course, if you want fast results, you might want to limit your food intake to a minimum but healthy level for a period of time, until you reach a weight you would like to maintain. Don't overdo it, however, and keep your best health in mind as the highest priority. What is a good diet? As you know, most diets are about counting your calories. You need to understand what calories are and realize they are your friends, not your enemies. Calories are actually the units of heat used to indicate the amount of energy that foods will produce in the human body. The calorie used by dietitians and found on food labels is actually the kilocalorie, also called calorie and abbreviated kilocalorie or cal, or 1000 calories. That is a measure of the amount of heat energy, or metabolic energy, contained in the chemical bonds of a food. Very simply put, what you consume as food and drinks, your body takes, designates the useful stuff where it needed, dumps what is not needed, and stores the usable extras in the form of fat. Fat is usable? You might want to ask. The answer: water. Macronutrients, carbohydrates, fats, and protein, substances that are required for energy, growth, and maintenance of your bodily tissues. Micronutrients, vitamins and minerals that are needed for your optimal functioning. All these, of course, I'll explain in details below. Using these extremely simple definitions, you can conclude that a good, healthy diet is one where your assimilated caloric intake does not exceed your caloric expense. Simple. A healthy diet for losing weight means taking fewer calories than you use, so that your body starts consuming as a fuel what it has in storage, without suffering from the lack of vital micro and macronutrients. In the best case, the healthy weight loss diet should hold three main functions besides losing weight: maintenance of vital organs and processes, prevention of a significant loss of muscle tissue, evoking a feeling of satiety. An unhealthy diet means just eating anything, in proportions that are too big, or too small for your optimal functioning. You can lose weight with an unhealthy diet, as long as your calorie intake is less than what you use up. That is bad for your health, and it's not what we are aiming for here. Generally, for a healthy diet, you should aim not so much for quantity, but for quality. Quality means vegetables, fruits, eggs, cheese, fish, meat, nuts, rice, etc. Out of those, you should be able to get all the nutrients your body needs without additional supplementation. But let's first take a closer look at each one of them. Macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Carbohydrates. What are they and why do you need them? Carbohydrates have gotten an undeservingly bad reputation around the internet, and were almost blamed as the sole reason for gaining extra weight. That is not entirely correct. Carbs are most of the calories we consume, and they range from simple sugar to complex starch and some forms of dietary fiber, such as cellulose. The simplest building blocks of carbs are monosaccharides, single-unit molecules such as glucose, fructose, and galactose. Glucose is used as an energy supply by all cells in your body. When the cells have more than needed, the leftovers can be reassembled as glycogen and stored in your liver or your muscles for later use. In order to keep optimal glucose levels, your body produces two hormones, insulin and glucagon. Insulin is the hormone that takes care of the balance of sugar in your bloodstream by distributing the extras. Glucagon mobilizes the stored glycogen in order to raise the levels of glucose in your body, so that it does and drop under dangerous levels. Insulin is released right after a meal, while glucagon in between feedings. Lack of insulin or insulin resistance is what could make the glucose levels in your blood to rise to dangerous levels. That is actually the definition of diabetes. Fiber is another kind element of carbs that is only found in plants such as grains, nuts, fruits and vegetables. It contains no calories, but it's an important part of your diet. It comes in two varieties: soluble and insoluble. Soluble fiber found in oats, nuts, and seeds helps regulate blood sugar and cholesterol. Insoluble fiber found in fruits and veggies moves bulk through the intestines, easing your digestion and even protecting you in a way from developing colon diseases. The fact is we cannot live without carbohydrates. A constant supply of glucose is necessary for the brain and nerve tissues to function properly. In extreme cases, the body can break down muscle to convert into glucose. But, since the heart is the body's most important muscle, you obviously don't want that. On the other hand, if you choose simple carbs such as white bread and sugary foods, your blood sugar levels may rise too quickly and then drop quickly. While these can temporarily boost your energy, the effect is fleeting because they are used up too fast. How much do you need? If you want to lose or maintain healthy weight, you do need good carbs for energy. At the same time, you would want to have those in smaller amounts. Your optimal carb intake depends on your age, gender, body composition, activity levels, and of course also on your metabolic health. Carbohydrates should constitute about 40 to 55% of your daily calorie intake, depending on your needs. The usual recommended amount of carbohydrates is 2,250 grams per day. In order to lose weight fast, you should initially aim for a low-carb diet and go lower than 50 grams per day. That will cause your body to get into ketosis, supplying energy for the brain via so-called ketone bodies. This is likely to kill your appetite and cause you to lose weight automatically. Proteins. What are they and why do you need them? Protein is the critical structural and functional building block of your body. Our organ tissues, the blood vessels, hormones, the immune system, etc. that all connected to adequate amounts of protein. If you want to build your muscles, you need protein. Proteins are composed of any of 20 amino acids, 10 of which are considered essential because they have to be obtained in your diet. The body cannot synthesize its necessary proteins if these 10 amino acids do not come in adequate amounts through your diet. Isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, and valine, as well as arginine and histidine for infants. If you aim for optimal health, you need to get all of the essential amino acids in high enough quantities from your diet. That is harder for you if you are a vegetarian, since meat and fish have all of them. You can opt for eggs, or for whey protein shake, to make up for that. Whey is a dairy product, though, and those who do not tolerate dairy may not tolerate whey. Many people go crazy on protein for building muscles, but in case you are not very active and don't try to balance your diet, that is not advised. This strategy could exhaust your liver and kidneys. A typical adult human requires in excess of 1900 kilocalories of protein to maintain the body energy balance. If your diet is dominated by lean protein and deprived of fats and carbs, that could lead to a potentially fatal condition known as Abbott's starvation syndrome, a severe form of malnutrition. If you don't take enough protein, you also pose a whole lot of health risks, such as weakness, edema, decreased immunity, weakened cardiovascular and respiratory system, etc. How much do you need? In order to calculate your protein needs, you first need to convert your weight from pounds to kilograms. Weight in pounds divided by 2.2 equal weight in kg. Then you need to multiply the result as follows. Weight in kg x 0.8-1.8 grams per kilogram equal protein gm. Use a lower number if you are in good health and or are sedentary, that is, 0.8. Use a higher number between 1 and 1.8 if you are under stress, are pregnant, are recovering from an illness, or if you are involved in consistent and intense weight or endurance training. Most experts recommend that your protein intake is somewhere between 15 and 30% from your total calorie intake. Fats. What are those and why do you need them? Fats, or fatty acids, are an important source of energy. They are also used to generate energy from your own stored tissue. Fats are important because they contain fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, and K, as well as other nutrients. Many fat-containing foods also contain protein and or carbs. In fact, it's quite common to get all three macronutrients at the same time from foods as dairy products, meat, fish, nuts, and avocado. For example, what you need to know is that there are two basic kinds of essential fatty acids that you need on a daily basis: omega-6 and omega-3 essential fatty acids. Both these play vital roles in our body immune system and in the maintenance of our brain and nerve functions. Our bodies can produce them, so we need to include them in our diets. Omega-6 fats tend to be more inflammatory when overconsumed, and omega-3 fats are anti-inflammatory in nature. How much of them do you need? Omega-6 mostly comes from red meat, butter, milk products, plant oils, Nuts and seeds. The American Heart Association recommends that at least 5% to 10% of food calories come from omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-3s come primarily from seafood, fish such as salmon, trout, and tuna, and mussels, oysters, shrimp, crabs. They can be also found in walnuts, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds in lesser amounts. Since they are very important, you might also want to add omega-3 supplements. Your daily fat intake should be around 20–30% of the total calories you consume. If you consume 2,000 calories in a day, for example, your total fat intake should be around 67 grams of fat. The recommended omega-3, omega-6 ratio should be around 1:1 or 2:1. Micronutrients. Vitamins and minerals. What are those and why do you need them? Vitamins are organic molecules that play vital roles in the body. They are not used for energy themselves, but they are crucial for our metabolism and for our body mechanisms to use protein, carbs, and fat for fuel. They also must be obtained via our diets. The only exception, in a way, is vitamin D, which is technically a hormone produced when we are exposed to the sun for a sufficiently long time. Fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. As their name suggests, they have to be consumed with fat in order to be utilized by our bodies. Fat-soluble vitamins will not be lost when the foods that contain them are cooked. They can also be stored in the liver and fatty tissues and are eliminated much more slowly than the water-soluble ones. That is why they generally pose a greater risk for toxicity when consumed in excess. What they do: build bones. Vitamins A, D, and K keep cells healthy and protect vision. Vitamin A interact constructively. Without vitamin E, your body would have difficulty absorbing and storing vitamin A. Protect the body against damage from unstable molecules known as oxidants. Vitamin E. Water-soluble vitamins B complex and vitamin C. The water-soluble vitamins do not have to be eaten with fat to be absorbed, and it's harder to overdose with them, since we just get rid of the excess via the urine. That is why we need those daily in our diet. These vitamins are easily destroyed or washed out during food storage and preparation. What they do: help release energy from food. Several B vitamins produce energy. B vitamins build proteins and help cells multiply. Make collagen, which is needed in healing wounds, supporting blood vessel walls, and forming a base for teeth and bones. Vitamin C. The B-complex vitamins can be found in a variety of foods like grains, meat, poultry, eggs, fish, milk, legumes, and fresh vegetables. Vitamin C can be found in many fruits and vegetables. Minerals: calcium, chromium, copper, iron, magnesium, selenium, zinc, molybdenum, iodine. Minerals are necessary for three main reasons: building strong bones and teeth, controlling body fluids inside and outside cells, turning the food we eat into energy. What they do: iron is best known for transporting oxygen throughout the body. Fluoride strengthens bones and wards off tooth decay. Zinc helps blood clot. It is essential for taste and smell, and strengthens our immune system. Copper helps form several enzymes, one of which assists with iron metabolism and the creation of hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in the blood. Minerals are found in foods such as meat, cereals including cereal products such as bread, fish, milk and dairy foods, vegetables, fruit especially dried fruit and nuts. How much do you need? If all is good, you should be able to supply enough of these vital micronutrients through your diet alone, mostly through consumption of various fruits and vegetables. You only need supplementation, if you can afford that for some reason, since overdoing with those might easily turn from beneficial to toxic. When deciding to supplement, you should always consult a healthcare specialist. Design your own diet. Putting together your meals. You already know that you can lose weight by eating only sandwiches and cookies. All you have to do is eat less than your body uses. That is exactly why I explained all these details about micro and macronutrients above, to help you realize why, while effective, that is unhealthy and what you should do in order to get slim the healthy way. You could now take away everything you don't need to maintain your health and get a great diet for losing weight and improving your health. I am not a fan of giving a strict dieting regime, as this feels limiting and burdensome for most of us. Usually, I let my clients eat what they normally like to eat, following some of the recommendations I outline above. Then we make adjustments, if needed, in the process of our work together. Still, you are probably used to seeing, if not a detailed day-to-day menu, at least some dieting guidelines in books about losing weight. Am I right? I don't want to disappoint you, so I will attempt to give some common instructions. First, In order to get an estimate of how much calories you need per day, you should use some math. The easiest way for you to do that is by calculating your RMR resting metabolic rate. The RMR formula for women is 10x weight in kilograms 1, plus 6.25x height in centimeters 2, 5x age 161. Men should use this formula, 10x weight in kilograms plus 6.25x height in centimeters 5x age plus 5. This formula DOES and take into account your muscles mass, which, as you already know, is heavier than fat, meaning that your daily calorie intake should be a higher number if you have more developed muscles. As its name suggests, it also meant for sedentary lifestyle, so this is the absolute minimum of calories you need per day. Once you have calculated your RMR, you should adjust the numbers according to your overall activity level. Multiply your RMR by an activity factor 1.2 for lifestyle with little or no movement, 1.375 for lifestyle with light exercise or sports 1-3 days per week, 1.55 for people who exercise moderately or engage into sports 3-5 days per week, 1.725 for very active people who exercise 6-7 days per week, 1.9 for extremely lifestyle including a heavy physical job or sports exercise daily. Then, when deciding on your meals, you should follow the simple rule: if you want to lose weight, your daily calorie intake should be less than your metabolic rate, but not less than 12,003. Next we go on to the diet. What I recommend is for you to start with a low-carb diet, and when you reach your weight loss goals, to build up to the macronutrient ratios described above. Remember that eating regularly during the day is important, even on days when you don't exercise. Don't obsess too much over the ratios. As long as you don't feel hungry and make the best choices you can on the size and content of your portions, you should be just fine. Have 3 meals per day that include all 3 macronutrients and fresh vegetables. There are many different opinions on daily calorie intake proportions. I would say it's safe to go with 30% lean protein, 30% healthy fat, 40% complex carbs. You can have 2 snacks between meals, consisting of whey protein shake, fruits or low-fat nuts, cashews, macadamia, hazelnuts, etc. Drink water all day long. Other drinks that are completely safe: sports drinks, tea, black coffee, coconut water. The carbohydrates consumption you could aim for in the beginning should be around 0.8 to 1.1 grams per kilogram of body weight. See the calculation formulas above. Good sources of healthy carbs that I could recommend are brown rice, peas, yams, sweet potatoes, oatmeal, nuts, and whole grain cereals. Good sources of protein and fat are chicken, fish and other seafood, beef, eggs, soy products, whey products. You could also opt for low-fat dairy products as yogurt, cottage cheese, skim milk. Good sources of healthy fat, besides the meat, are vegetable oils from seeds and nuts, olive oil, butter, cheese with 60% fat, seeds, and coconut oil. To help digestion and not feeling hungry, you should add fiber and micronutrients through the fruits and vegetables in your menu. Try to have most vegetables you eat raw, steamed or stewed. As funny as it may sound, if unsure what kind of fruits and veggies to choose, the simplest rule you could follow is, go for all the different colors you could get. The rationale behind that is that many fruits and vegetables of the same color contain similar vitamins and minerals. Yellow and orange fruits and veggies, for example, are usually rich in vitamin C and various antioxidants, as well as carotenoids and bioflavonoids, 2 classes of phytochemicals that promote health. To flush toxins out of your cells and burn fat, your body needs water. Thinning the blood reduces the concentration of insulin in the blood, which gives a slight boost to the rate that fat cells expel fatty acids. At all times you need to stay sufficiently hydrated, which means drinking lots of water before, during and after a workout. You could also drink sports beverages containing carbohydrates and electrolytes to help maintain blood glucose concentration, provide fuel for muscles, and decrease risk of dehydration and hyponatremia. These guidelines are all you need in order to tailor an effective diet plan for yourself. If, during your weight loss regime, you really want some sweets, go for them. No need to suffer, but try to eat some not more than once a week. As you know, they will only shake your glycemic balance and bring you very short-lived energy and joy. Don't starve yourself too. As you know now, your body is an incredibly smart and efficient mechanism. When you try to trick it into getting rid of the stored fat faster, it will actually slow down its metabolic processes in order to prepare itself for the stressful times. This is why restricting diets bring to short-term success and lead to more weight gain after. Now, when you know that, you could lose those extras in a smarter and healthier way. Exercise. While having a healthy diet is good for providing the right kind of calories for optimal health, movement is essential for losing weight and being fit. By movement, I mean two kinds you should aim for: scheduled exercise and general activity. Why are those different? First off, exercise is structured, often but not always needs specific space and equipment, needs designated time. In short, you could easily find a million excuses for not doing it. General activity such as walking, doing chores, climbing stairs, casual sports, on the other hand, is harder to skip intentionally because all you have to do is commit to being less sedentary and stick to that commitment. Second, the active workouts I will describe soon might not be suitable for some people. If your doctor has told you that exercise poses a risk for your health, you might have to opt for a more active lifestyle. Instead of feeling hopeless and defeated, there is always a way to do something good for yourself. Third, some time might pass before you begin enjoying your workouts. Before that, though, you will surely enjoy being mindful of all the times you have been too sedentary, and were able to do something about that straight away. Raising your overall activeness could be faster and more immediately gratifying. Fitness fundamentals. When discussing fitness aimed at losing weight, we have two general approaches that need to be combined: building muscle and cardio workouts. The difference between the two I will explain shortly here. Boosting strength and building muscle. Muscular strengthening and weightlifting activities are what most people visit a gym for. As I already wrote, when you lose weight, the first thing that the body consumes is your muscles. As a result, you may look slimmer, but you will definitely not feel better. That is why, if you want fast and healthy in the long run results, you have to include that training in your program. Another important benefit of strength training is that the act of building muscles itself is a great energy expense for the body. It also greatly improves your bone density and your metabolism. Thus, you burn fat at a better rate. Weight training usually requires different types of equipment, most commonly dumbbells, barbells, and weight machines. It consists of practice sets, a specific amount of movements forms that are aimed at working on a specific muscle group. The major muscle groups you should work on in every training are abdominal stomach, pectoralis upper chest, obliques side of body, biceps front of upper arm, triceps back of upper arm, deltoids top of shoulder, trapezius upper back, latissimus dorsi and rhomboids back, erector spinae lower back, gastrocnemius and soleus back of lower leg, gluteus buttocks, hamstrings back of thigh, quadriceps front thigh. Easy enough, right? No? Just don't forget to work on front, back, legs and arms. Many people go to the gym with the idea of shaping a particular part of their body, just want to lose that belly. This is not how your body works. First, there's no such thing as spot fat burning. You either work your whole body out, or you done. If that is not bad enough, the middle section is usually the last to go. In order to make most of your training, do it properly and don't leave out anything you now consider less urgent. Muscle strengthening workouts don't only consist of lifting weights, though it could take other forms such as resistance training, plyometrics, muscle toning, pilates, etc. Cardio exercise. The cardio exercises are mostly aimed at burning fat fast, recovering muscles and improving breathing. Other important benefits of the cardio training are improved heart functioning, higher tone and coordination. Cardio exercises vary and can be performed both indoors and outdoors. Everything that heightens your heart rate and makes you breathe faster, running, stair climbing, rope skipping, aerobics, etc. is cardio. It is scientifically proven that at least 30 minutes of cardio exercise per day greatly improves your health, tone and energy, and also reduces stress levels. Cardio exercising is neither less nor more important than the strength work. In fact, you should go for both in one complete workout. It's best to begin and end your training sessions with some cardio to warm up and to burn some fat. For many people, the cardio exercises are also more fun because you spend less time focused and counting reps and more time enjoying a well-paced, rhythmical movement. Whatever works for you best, do more of that. Progression is key. If you want your workout to be healthy and effective, besides combining strength and cardio exercises, you should follow some basic but very important rules. Don't forget to warm up. Don't overdo it. Rest effectively between exercising. Warming up is crucial for actually building your muscles, instead of injuring yourself. Besides preparing your muscles, it also adjusts your focus, your breathing, your heart rate and your blood circulation. When during a warm-up your blood is redirected from your stomach and your spleen to your muscles, they will have the much-needed oxygen and nutrients to work best. Always begin your workouts with at least a 5-15 minute cardio warm-up and some stretching exercises. If you are out of shape, you need to warm up longer because your muscles are not used to working hard. Overdoing it could happen in a few ways: going for too heavy weights too soon, doing the sets too fast, making too many repetitions from the very beginning. No, your muscles will not become larger faster. If you do that, the only effects of such heroism range from exhausting yourself for a good week in the best case to injuring yourself seriously, not even the worst case. To avoid that, increase the amount of weights on a specific exercise gradually. Don't fool yourself that just because lifting something seems easy the first 2-3 times, you can go heavier right after. Do a few series of smaller amount of repetitions in the beginning, starting from 8-15. Depending on your overall health and fitness level. Perform 5-7 sets for the large muscle groups: chest, back, tights, and 2-4 sets for the smaller ones: arms, shoulders, abs. Limit your strength workout to about 20 minutes during the first week. Yes, that includes the pauses between sets. Limit the time spent at the gym to about an hour per day. Anything above that is not going to be as beneficial as many novices think. Pace yourself. Don't take it too easy, but don't exhaust yourself completely in a single training. You will have enough time to catch up with moving. If you keep yourself whole and not injured, that is, be mindful of how your body reacts to training. If you can hardly breathe or you feel that your heart is trying to break through your chest and run free, slow down and have a break. You will know better the next time. Ideally, your initial workout schedule should optimally be 3-4 days per week with at least 1 day of rest between exercising days. For example, train on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. If you don't give your muscles enough time to restore between workouts, again, you may injure yourself and will feel more exhausted for longer time. The training itself gives best results if timed correctly. In an effective workout, you should spend 5-10 minutes warming up, about 20 minutes doing muscle building exercise, and 20-30 minutes of cardio after. You could, of course, have little breaks during these 20-30 minutes and split also your cardio into sets until your body can handle such durability. Any effort counts. Also, some specialists say that interval training is actually more beneficial for weight loss than long but less intensive exercises. Interval training means alternating high-intensity exercises with low-intensity ones. This will not be easy for you in the beginning, since the higher intensity will pose a bigger injury risk and make you exhausted faster. Work on your durability in the beginning. Worry about optimizing all aspects of your workout later. Doing less than these recommended minutes is, naturally, expected in the beginning. Again, do not overdo it. More than that actually will have little or no beneficial effect. So, in time, instead of spending more time in the gym, you will just have easier time working out. Having fun with it is what we are aiming for, right? If you are still unsure what not having enough rest means, here are some signs that you overdone it. Your resting heart rate is faster than you are used to. You feel chronically sore or weak. You get lots of colds and infections. You are not sleeping well. You are irritable and anxious, or you feel low. You feel exhausted and disoriented. If you encounter such symptoms, take a few days to rest and give yourself a chance to restore your strength. Getting fit and healthy is more like a marathon and less like a sprint. I understand you want the results as soon as possible, but your health and well-being is more important than that. Be compassionate to your own body and don't stress over losing those extra pounds too much. As long as you don't stop making efforts altogether, they will go away later on. What is the best time of the day for training? My answer: whenever you have time is good. It might be a good idea to try and build some routine with that. This way it will be much easier for you to remain committed, build a habit and reinforce within time. Mornings are, of course, a great time for warming up and cardio exercises. Since your stomach is light and empty, your blood pressure is low, and such training will make your metabolism faster for the rest of the day. Another timing issue that is important to consider is the order of strength and cardio workouts. I did mention that cardio exercise is a great way to warm up before strength training, but in order to achieve best fat-burning results from it, you should also do 20-30 minutes of cardio after the muscle-building exercise. The reason for that is simple. You want to lose fat, don't you? Well, after you have used all the glycogen into training your muscles, during the cardio your body will have not much choice, except using the stored fat as an energy source. That is how you will get best fat loss results and make the most of your training. Even though I have outlined a general workout plan for you, I didn't give you exact exercises to perform. That is on purpose. First, I want you to choose your own way of achieving muscle building and cardio exercises. Just as not every diet plan is effective for everybody, not every workout plan will be equally fun and useful for all people. You will have to decide on what kind of action will be easiest and most rewarding for you on the long way. You don't necessarily have to visit a gym for doing that. Second, I want you to experiment and have fun. I don't know what your idea of fun is. You may feel best when being around other people in line dancing, for example, or you may prefer solitude. Maybe you work best when following instructions and a strict plan, or you value variety more. Just try to follow my general instructions when deciding on your individual plan. You don't need more than these for doing that. Training and diet. When it comes to food around training times, different factors come in play. Usually, in order to lose weight, it's best to train on empty stomach. This way, your body will start using its reserves, which is actually the stored fat you want to get rid of. On the other hand, if you don't feel well during exercise, you might want to have a small snack before that. It is important to eat after exercise, though. As you know, protein is what your muscles are built of. If you have some good quality protein up to 2 hours after a workout, your muscles will recover better. Stay well hydrated at all times. Drink 2-3 glasses of water 2-3 hours before your workout, about a glass during and 2-3 glasses after. What else can you do besides visiting the gym? Yes, probably the best and fastest option for getting into shape is going to the gym, but if you can afford that, or absolutely despise the idea of doing so, you have countless alternatives. You can sign up for dance lessons, aerobics, martial arts, swimming, to name a few. You could also run in the park, or have intense walks with your dog. You could get involved in any form of intense and regular physical activity of your liking. The important thing here is to be committed into getting slim and fit and do whatever you want to do for 30-60 minutes per day, 3-4 times a week. As to having a more active lifestyle, as I mentioned before, that is also a great way to become healthier. You might not get fast measurable results around your waist from that, but do it, please, by all means. Action and fun. Fun and action. As long as you are having those, I will be happy for you. If I manage to inspire you at least a little to better yourself any way you can, then my work here is done. The bottom line, how often, how long, and how intensely you need to work out depends on your goals. If you are mainly aiming to feel better and become healthier, you can choose to do less than what I have described above. If you want to lose weight, you should gradually try to follow my guidelines and get ready for some serious work. And by rise I mean regular and devoted, not necessarily lacking fun. Aiming for a more active lifestyle. When you think about how little the average person moves today, you will immediately stop wondering why so many people have weight-related problems. It was way easier for us to work and have fun outside before the computers took over our work and personal lives. Now there are apps for everything, hundreds of notifications beeping from different places 24/7, and we all feel so tired of it all. It may be really hard to escape that kind of living, but every effort in that direction is a huge improvement. An active lifestyle could be achieved in many different ways. To me, that means spending as much time outside as possible. It also means to stop trying to save yourself effort in performing regular things that current technology has doing for you. Some examples of these: take the stairs, instead of using the elevator. Bike to work or to the supermarket, if the distance allows. Go for regular long walks, instead of constantly hurrying to get somewhere. Prepare your food by mixing and cutting everything yourself. Wash your dishes manually. Try some housework, some gardening if you can. I'm not saying that you should return to the medieval times when we knew no electronics at all and it would have taken a whole day to perform a single house task such as washing, but, still, if you have some time, why not embrace the chance to become more active and get stronger? Active lifestyle also means spending less on possessions and more on experiences. Usually, when we want to buy something, we want it because of our idea of how having it will make us feel, how our lives will become better with it. That is what commercials are for, to make you believe that having this particular watch means having the good life. This special kitchen robot has 30 more functions than the one you have. Well, guess what, my friend? The joy you experience from having those things will last for a short period of time, but the memories and excitement from experiencing something new will last a lifetime. Don't you think that more worth it? And, of course, living actively means to keep learning and acquiring new skills. That means choosing the salsa classes before your regular TV shows, for example, or developing new interests and hobbies such as getting to know more about your history and culture, or making art from old cans and marbles. It does and matter what you choose, as long as it gives you pleasure and a sense of satisfaction. Experimentation and having fun are the best and most immediate benefits of choosing to live actively. Becoming a happier and more accomplished person are the hidden gems in changing your ways in the direction. So, please, don't just think about it, but start making those choices today. Sleep. Before we are done with the action chapter, I just want to add a few words for the importance of good, quality rest. Many people completely forget how important it is for their health not only to count calories and repetitions, but also to give their minds and bodies this crucial pause. Actually, lack of sleep affects not only your mood and energy levels, but also your weight. When you haven't gotten enough sleep, the levels of the stress hormone cortisol increase drastically. The result of lack of sleep, you feel tired, hungry and stressed out. The more tired, hungry and stressed out you are, the less quality sleep you get. It's a vicious circle. On average, healthy sleep should be between 6 to 9 hours in a 24-hour period. Apparently, anything below or above that amount of sleep is not healthy. Your specific needs vary and depend on your gender, age, health and lifestyle. You know best how much you need to feel good. In order to build healthy habits, you better include healthy sleep schedule in your plan. Here are some good tips to help you improve your sleep and feeling of calm. Going to bed and waking up at regular times. Routine is of key importance for improving your body rhythms. As you do that, your metabolism will improve and stress levels will drop. Having a sleep routine that enhances the quality of your bedtime. You could reinforce the message you give your brain that it's time for rest by adding some special bedtime rituals. You could, for example, have a warm bath, or shut down all screens and read something. Or you could learn to meditate. Anything that gives you pleasure, without putting you in excite mode will work. Not eating for at least 2-3 hours before bed. When going into sleep mode, the body temperature drops a little. When you eat, it raises slightly in order to process the food. By eating before bed, you not only confuse your body, but also give it some material to store during the night. That is not what we are going for in this book. In addition to that, your dinner should be the lightest meal for the day. Preferably, it should consist of some lean protein and veggies. Thus, your glucose levels will not skyrocket, giving you the energy to run a marathon, when you are actually trying to slow down and prepare yourself for a rest. Not having caffeine for at least 6 hours before sleep. Coffee is a great substance to help in losing weight. It boosts your metabolism and gives you energy during the day. Once again, you don't want that before going to sleep. Since caffeine lasts in the organism for up to 6 hours, it's best to avoid it and relax. That includes avoiding teas with caffeine too. Not exercising for at least 2 hours before that. You might think that it's a good idea to get sufficiently tired before going to bed in order to fall asleep faster. Actually, exercise will raise your pulse and prepare your body to be active. What is best for you before bed is both physical and mental rest. Best time to go to sleep is before midnight. Try to go to bed not long after 9 p.m. I know how hard it is to stay away from all the urgencies you are facing, all the social media and work-related distractions. But science tells us that is not healthy. The best time to go to bed is between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. Since sun is usually gone by those hours depending on the time of the year. Of course, this is a natural way to follow your pre-programmed body clock. It will also give you sufficient time to go get a good night rest and have some extra time in the morning. Having enough time upon waking for warming up and a healthy breakfast. If you wake up naturally, without rushing out of bed, you will add another good base for developing the habit of healthy sleep. Try to wake up at the same time during the week and during the weekends. If all is well, you should have the need to sleep in. Get enough sunlight during the day. Melatonin, the hormone that tells your body when to sleep and when to be active, depends on sunlight to give that information. That is why, if you get enough exposure to the sun during the day and shut off all bright lights before bed, you will have easier time falling asleep. Summary of this chapter. Chapter 6, Victory. So, after sucking on all this information until now, deciding on your specific goals, outlining your ideal plan. Are you ready for winning the battle already? I surely hope so. But have you forgotten that success is not about winning the smaller battles? It's about total transformation of your unhealthy habits into healthy and productive ones. Even more, victory is what you gain in the long term. Sustaining the results you have achieved is what real victory is all about. If you have ever tried to lose weight through dieting and or training before, you must have noticed how after the initial enthusiasm, you slowly start feeling tired of it all. Before, it was just too difficult to make such fundamental changes. We discussed that in the Eating Real chapter. Don't try and make many major changes at the same time. Be realistic. Don't give up. Another factor that usually undermines successful completion of your plan will be slow progress. I wrote about the lack of system that brings overnight results a few times in this book already. Being real about weight loss includes fully realizing that your bathroom scales will not go wild with excitement the first few weeks. The measuring tape will not immediately give you the numbers you are hoping for. Your F4 and FTER photos will not feature two completely different people during the first months even. Also, after you start getting noticeable results, you will come to a period when nothing changes for a while. Will you quickly get bored then and give up putting efforts into building a healthier lifestyle just because the immediate feedback you are getting is not so exciting anymore? If you do that, you give up on your victory, my friend. When you stop seeking for fun and creative ways to sustain your motivation when facing difficulties and with the lack of big results, your efforts before that will be wasted. Plain and simple. Don't ever forget that the mental work required to getting the health and body you want is not less important than the physical one. Big part of this project is learning to catch and recognize the process of finding rationalizations why all this is just too hard and how it may be not so worth pursuing further. Remember that giving into these, you will only gain the short-lived benefit of feeling better for a little. What you will lose, though, is much more important: your health, your self-esteem, your dreams for a better life. That is why your victory will not be achieved by winning the small behavioral battles. It will be won when you stop counting calories and pounds and change your attitude. Victory is making that crucial shift. By all means, keep celebrating any battle you win along the journey, but don't let your little failures change your mind about what your real goals and values are. It's not weight that brought you to me and my book, friend. It's the fact that you really want to be happy, and happy you will be if you follow my advice. In this final chapter I want to help you step firmer on your new path by giving you some hints and tips on how to keep following it. 1. Keep track of your progress and keep revising your thoughts and actions. I gave you some ideas on how to measure your progress not only for evaluation purposes. I wanted you to be more aware of how your mind and body are changing. Sometimes these changes will be hard to notice if you don't dedicate yourself to doing that. In the process you will also start revising your self-concept. You will realize that your negative self is feeding you false fears and insecurities, because your objective results prove clearly that you can handle discomfort. You can win most of your battles. You are much better than you have thought. By making these regular accounts on your goals and progress, you will also have the opportunity to revise and make adjustments on the go. These, of course, will be much needed. You can expect from yourself to have perfect abilities to predict how changing your diet and activity levels will work for you in real life. Sometimes what is recommended in theory and what actually works in practice are two different things. With all my knowledge and experience on how to shape your body, I also don't always know what will work best with different people. This is why, usually in my work with clients, we discuss and make small adjustments on a weekly basis. This is the only way to achieve optimal results and keep them for good. So, don't be too harsh on yourself. Allow your body and mind to adapt. Let them have their struggles, but don't let them take you off the track. Give yourself a good pat on the back when deserved, and also give yourself a break when you need it too. Keep your attitude positive. I know, when somebody tells you to keep thinking positively, you feel like they are feeding you bran. It's one of those trivially sounding advices that nobody actually follows, but they are always quick to give. Who don't know what to say, use the positivity mantra. That is a universal one, isn't it? The problem is not in the truthfulness advice itself. The problem is that it is too broad and common. It also is too hard to follow. Well, in this case, I feel I have all the right to give that advice. Why? Because we already discussed how stress affects your mind and body, and how having negative beliefs about yourself is affecting you in more different and damaging ways you might have considered. That is all true. But how to be more positive in practice? First, If you actually follow the dieting and exercise guidelines from this book, you will slowly become a more positive person. Second, don't underestimate the importance of quality sleep schedule and rest between practices. I didn't describe those just to fill up the pages. Keeping your cortisol levels at bay will indeed make you much less stressed and, therefore, more positively attuned. Third, use all the techniques from the Eating Real chapter not only for weight loss. Use them to catch and question your unhealthy, negative patterns of thinking and acting. As I wrote in the chapter, in a matter it not the stressors you face that are the problem. Many people deal with circumstances worse than yours without losing their abilities to smile. Many will break in half and soak in despair with much less than that too. So, it's not about what happens to you, but how you think of it, how you react to it, and you have the full power to choose your thoughts and reactions. Use that power. Don't remain in the passenger seat while your own life is unfolding before you. Fourth, the stress responses of your mind and body are a way to adapt to changes. Amongst psychologists, that is known as a classic fight or flight response. When you are in a situation that needs adjustments, your mind and body are sending you messages to resist everything new and therefore scary, or flee to avoid it. That is how your primal instincts work. As you now know, your body has and stored all that fat for fun. It did that to survive. The stress response is its way to tell you, your survival is in question. The muscle pain, the tiredness, the temptation to quit it all and going back to easier living, these are all just responses. But now you know better than that. You are the one who takes the final decisions. So, the challenge ahead of you is to stay firm and decide to take stress for what it truly is. Don't stress further over your most natural instincts. 3. Stay motivated. Some say that motivation is like eating. You don't do it once and feel good from then on. In order to feel good, you need to do it every day. That is true. There is a big difference between having great motives and staying motivated. Motives are your reasons to change, while motivation is what keeps you going. It's not enough to be clear about your motives. You also have to sustain your motivation in order to sustain your results. Here are some things you can do to stay enthusiastic about your new lifestyle. Get some social support for your sustaining your efforts. If you involve more people into your plan, you are raising your chances to stay on track slightly. You can do that in many ways. One thing you can do is letting others know what you will be doing, so that you have somebody else but yourself to account to. As ineffective as shame is in building healthy motives for weight loss, it could be quite effective to stay motivated. If you let the world know you are doing something new and important, they will also know whether you are succeeding or giving up. You can easily shame yourself in front of others by giving up. Can you? Other thing you can do is finding someone else to train and diet with you. This way you will have someone to share your goals and plans with. You will give each other support in hardships and celebrate together your wins. Think about other ways to include others into your plan. Surround yourself with physically fit people. We are social creatures. As much as you don't like to admit it, you have probably gained that weight in big part because of your environment. If everybody around you is inactive and eats whatever they find more convenient at the moment, it's easier for you to do the same. If they are the kind of people who have very active lifestyles and respect their bodies more than the average people, that will also make you more motivated to keep up with them. The great thing is that by changing yourself to become a healthier person, you will inspire some people around you to follow you. Yes, in the beginning they may try to have fun with your efforts, or even pronounce you crazy. But as they start seeing how great that has affected the way you feel and behave, sooner or later, they will start coming to you for advice. Keep yourself interested by educating yourself even more. Even though this book is a great source of tips and techniques for the changes you want to achieve, that doesn't mean you should just stop there. Keep your interest alive. Register in weight loss forums. Read and share tips with your fellows. You could also register for your favorite websites and magazines and keep getting useful and inspiring articles and tips on a regular basis. This is another reason I made my website, to keep sharing and helping you to achieve your goals and stay on track. The goal here is to improve your life in all the ways you can think of. So, get creative and find as many sources of inspiration as you can. Find the best techniques to follow your plan. Find out what will add more joy and fun in the process. Read success stories. It could be extremely motivating to read about other people just like you who achieved their goals. It's important to realize fully that you are not the only one struggling to lose some weight. You are not lazy. It's just something that takes time and effort. Getting to understand what challenges others like you have faced and how they overcame them, could be one of the best ways to get inspired for action and keep your motivation fueling your efforts. Celebrate every small win. If you want to keep your excitement going, you shouldn't underestimate your efforts and all the small and big achievements. Give yourself all the credit for every success and celebrate it the best you can. That does and equal having a cake with candles and a pile of gifts. Of course, there is a good reason you only have a birthday once a year, friend, to keep that one different and special. Still, you can reward yourself with little treats from time to time, from having a day out, to buying something nice for yourself, or getting a massage. Just figure out what gives you pleasure and use it as a motivation fuel. Scold yourself when needed. Yes, motivation is not only about patting yourself on the back. When children act well, they are praised, but when they misbehave, they get punished. This is how the basic process of positive and negative reinforcement works, and it is called reinforcement for a good reason. We are all hardwired to strive for pleasure and avoid pain. Whatever gives us pleasure is kept in our mind as something that should be done again in the future. Whatever makes us not so happy is something to be avoided. Even though it's not very motivating to be harsh on yourself for slip-ups, you should still acknowledge them for what they are. Don't punish yourself in a cruel way. Just decide beforehand on some consequences of not following through with your plan. Just as with the small celebrations, think of things that you will not like, such as no dessert, or not buying yourself what you wanted, until you have a good reason to. Whatever works for you. Meditation. Many people think of meditation as a practice of doing some long and complicated exercise of will. That is not true. Actually, there are many forms of meditation that you can easily learn and practice. The motivational benefits of such practice are many: quieting your mind, resting your body, learning to handle stress more effectively, to name a few. It's enough for you to incorporate 5-15 minutes of meditation practice in your daily routine to gradually start feeling better and more alert. One way to meditate, for example, is sitting still and calm with your eyes closed for a few minutes. The only requirements are not to be distracted and not to use this time to think. Inevitably, some thoughts will be rushing through your mind in the beginning. The point of this exercise is to accept them and let them go without judgment. Try it. Other way to go is mindfulness meditation. That simply means staying aware and present in the moment. Whatever you do, remember to stay in the moment and be aware of everything that is going on in your mind, your body, and around you. Again, don't judge whether what is happening is good or bad. Just recognize it and let it go. Meditation is quite useful in times when everyone and everything is fighting for your attention. If you learn to rule what you pay attention to, you will be more balanced and keep your focus easier on your goals. Visualization. Visualization is another technique to keep a positive attitude and sustain your motivation. All you have to do is imagine as vividly as you can how achieving your goals will feel and look like. Imagine, for example, how losing that weight will affect you, how it will change your life. Where would you be? How would you look? What will you feel? What would you be doing? Include all your senses in that picture: sights, smells, sounds, textures, tastes. The more alive that image is, the more real you will be into actually living it. Therefore, you will move from simply theoretical benefits of getting fit and add more small and big pleasures that are worth your efforts. Be grateful for what you have. Learn to recognize everything you have achieved, everyone who contributed to making your life better, everything you have that makes you happy. Try to end each day with writing down 3 good things that happened to you during the day. They can be anything you feel good about or grateful for. Feeling and expressing gratitude is an effective way to continue working on achieving and keeping what you want in your life. Once you realize that there are much more things that are worth being grateful for than negative situations and events, you will become a calmer and a more appreciative person. Create the habit of motivating yourself. Now that might sound a little like sure the wood is wooden. Well, as I said, you need food, sleep and motivation on a daily basis. So that in fact is another habit that you will want to develop. This will help you not only lose that weight, but also in achieving other goals you have that have nothing to do with your looks and health. People who actively seek for extra motivation and don't rely on initial enthusiasm are more likely to achieve their goals. If you set aside 10-20 minutes each morning, for example, to anticipate all the great things that you will do for yourself that day, You are preparing yourself for success. Taking the time in the afternoons to review how things have worked out and what adjustments to make the following day is also important. Whatever you choose to concentrate on defines how you live. If you choose to concentrate on active and positive thoughts and actions, you are much more likely to become an active and positive person. If you do the opposite, soaking, ruminating, focusing on all the discomfort in your life, that will dominate your reality. So, choose wise. What makes new behavior stick? Some say it takes about 20 days to change a habit. Others are less optimistic and point out that this will happen after 90 days of practice. We are all different, and it all largely depends on the ways we choose to stay motivated, how big of a change we are trying to make, whether or not we have a supportive environment. Clearly, the more devoted to change you are, the clearer and more realistic your goals are, the more effort you invest in building healthy habits, the better. I believe you now have all the necessary information to make that change happen. From here on, it's all up to you how you use it and what results you will actually achieve. Taking good care of yourself is a habit of a lifetime. That is why you have all your life ahead of you to build it. Of course, if you do that sooner, your lifetime might be longer and more rewarding than if you take forever to realize how important that is. Summary of this chapter. Conclusion. This is where this book ends, my friend, but your journey is just in the beginning. You have a long way ahead of you. It will have some great joys and some difficulties to overcome. This is how things work in life, and that is what makes it so colorful and amazing adventure. What are the main takeaways I want you to keep from the book? Well, I would like to think that every word, every page here was as useful as it was inspiring to you to make positive changes in your life. I hope you have learned how to achieve not only your weight loss goals, but also how to achieve your dreams. Believe in yourself more and choose your beliefs wisely. It is in the eye of the beholder. What you believe about yourself and your as a whole life shapes your reality. You have to be very careful what you say to yourself when facing a problem, or even when having a glance of your reflection in the mirror. Whatever you practice every day, you reinforce. By choosing to believe that you deserve to be healthy, fit and happy, you will not only get rid of your extra pounds, but pave your path to enjoying your life and your own skin better. Be real about your goals and prepare well for every battle. Having a positive attitude is important, but being real about your goals and desires is even more important for your success. Being real means getting sufficient and truthful information on how to act. Being real means making objective observations and planning for success. Being real means making a commitment and sticking to it, no matter how much effort you will have to make. And being real means stepping out your comfort zone where no real progress is possible and changing what you feel need to be changed. Act courageously along the way, but make sure to act in your best interests. Action is what defines whether you will make it happen, or whether you will be merely dreaming about living the good life. Only by acting on your goals, you can effectively achieve something. Most people prefer to stay comfortable. They watch TV with beautiful people on and dream to have their looks. They read about all the interesting things others have done, all the interesting places others have visited. Don't be one of these people. Be in charge. Take responsibility for your own happiness. Celebrate the battles you won, but don't lose your major victory from your sight even for a moment. That is another distinctive difference between empty dreamers and active ones. While the first take the first chance they have to retreat back to the comfort of their shells, active dreamers take little wins as a sign they are going the right way, not as an excuse to cease effort. Any lost pound, any inch less will count, friend. But they will not give you an excuse to stop making effort into making your life better. Not if you want to enjoy it all for longer, preferably until the rest of your life. Make sure you do all that by enjoying every part of the process, every small and big achievement, every positive change that all this brings. Life is not all work and no play, or at least it shouldn't be. And while it is extremely important to become strong, smart and healthy, it is not less important to have as much fun as you possibly can get out of it. Ask yourself and answer honestly, what does happiness mean to you? Once you have the answer, you have something bigger to look forward to achieving. All the positive changes described here will help you become happier and enjoy achieving your dreams even more. Every effort in that direction means a lot. I want you to be happy, my friend, and that is why I wrote that book for you. That is also why I have built my online program. That may be the beginning of your journey, but you are not alone. So, please, Don't hesitate to contact me if you have further questions or you feel you have difficulties that are not described in this book. I am there for you. I wish you the best of luck from here and never cease dreaming. I hope you have enjoyed this book. I have learned about the components of your optimal health and weight. I gave you tips to improve your body, your mind, your life. You now know how to design your own plan according to your personal needs and lifestyle. But this is not all you get. How about that? Learn exactly how to apply all that and start that body moving right away with this exclusive offer you don't want to miss for the world. Sign up for free emails. Get personal attention. Keep up the great work with exceptional supervision. So jump into your training shorts and jump into the action now. Register at http://www.howtfastbwayne.com/ Looking forward to meet you there. Notes: 1. To convert pounds to kilograms, divide them by 2.2. 2. To convert inches to centimeters, multiply them by 2.5. 3. You could make all these calculations online. There is plenty of specific information about nutritional value and calories in each specific food. For example, you can use the USDA National Nutrient Database, http://ndb.nal.usda.gov/